obviously good stewards of the taxpayers' money on a lot of programs. I think there's a lot of smaller programs out there, the tipping point technologies, the venture class launch systems, that they did a great job of finding new technologies and bringing those new technologies to market. And I think that's what it's going to take. It's going to take new and innovative approaches. I would like to see that timeline beat. I'd like to see a challenge thrown out to say who's going to be there first. Is it going to be NASA? Is it going to be the commercial sector? Or maybe it's both, doing it together. So I try to steer clear of timetables and projections, but I do envision that if the sound policies that we're having now that are coming out through the White House, through Congress, and implemented by our different agencies, I think that's going to help enable us to get there soonest.
So my personal feeling is that there's going to be a time where we have to put some kind of target date down. I don't think that time is right now. And the simple reason for that is the most important challenge we have is to bring humanity out of low Earth orbit into deep space. That's what we want to do, and get it out there in the vicinity of the moon. An idea that's by itself in isolation is not new, as you earlier said, Peter, right? It's something that's really important that we do. How we do this, how much effort comes to bear outside of NASA, internationally in the commercial sector, how much effort comes to bear is going to really help us understand how ambitious we can be going forward. I think we're going to really go through that exercise right now. My hope is in 2 to 3, perhaps 4 years, we know what the plan can really be. I think there's a number of forks in the road. We just really don't know. I told you, the commercial Renner initiative, it may not work. Simple as that. We're betting on a set of early stage companies in some cases. It's like, will they deliver? We don't know. It may not work. And we have to be open to that. So we shouldn't go make a plan in which we assume 100% of a success of the element as a whole. So for me, yes, it will be needed, I think, to eventually. I don't think we're there.
So I would say, yes, we need a target date. I'm waffling on whether it's now or later. I would argue we wouldn't have gotten to the moon if Kennedy didn't stand up and say, we're going to get to the moon within this decade. Right? It drives a sense of urgency and focus. And I think the biggest concern is if you don't put something out there, you don't have focus around what you're defining in terms of the plan. Right? And so that's the fear is, if you make it so open-ended, we may never get beyond the moon. We may spend a lot of time on the moon and never focus towards Mars. So if it's truly our goal to get to Mars, we ought to put some target date out there. My one concern, though, is exactly what Eric was saying. We put these dates out here, and they're targets. They are not firm commitments, and they will move because funding is never exactly the way it's projected. Administrations change, things happen, and they're going to move. And you don't kill a program because the target moves a year or two.
Can I amend my answer a little bit?
Go ahead.
So I'm a simple Army guy, which is the polar aspect of the Air Force, which is a little more complicated. And in the Army, it's defined by one thing: it's mission. How do you accomplish your mission? That's what you put out there. It's not a date. Sometimes there's a date timeline, but the overarching aspect is how do you accomplish your mission, and then you work backwards. So I think a clear definition of what our mission is the mission of the nation to go to Mars. If that's it, then put that out there. And what are the stepping stones how we're going to get there? How are we going to do the vehicles? How are we going to do the fuel and all the technological aspects of it? But the mission isn't always dictated by a time and place or a time.
All right. Good. So we get time for